And finally, new rule, nothing with crypto in the title ever turns out good. There is a mania rising in the country these days about cryptocurrency and how the train is leaving the station, so you better get on. Tesla has jumped in with both feet, and Microsoft accepts it for software now. Etsy accepts it now, and so does PayPal and Starbucks and Whole Foods and Home Depot. 1 in 10 Americans used their stimulus checks to invest in one of thousands of cryptocurrencies in existence, Bitcoin being the most famous, but there's also Ethereum, Binance, Tether, even one called Cumrocket. There's also one called Dogecoin that someone started as a joke, but as far as I can tell, it's exactly the same as all the other cryptocurrencies because the whole thing is a joke. I fully understand that our financial system isn't perfect, but at least it's real. Apple stock is worth money because Apple makes $1,000 phones that everyone buys and then drops in the toilet. But Dogecoin recently rallied to be worth more than the market cap of Ford and Kraft Foods, and it has no product and no workers. It's just Easter Bunny cartoon cash. I've read articles about cryptocurrency, I've had it explained to me, and I still don't get it, and neither do you or anyone else. And I'll explain why. So, there's these things called nerds. And in 2008, one of them, we don't know who because this person or group of persons is still anonymous, made up Bitcoin out of thin air using the fake name Satoshi Nakamoto, which I think are the Japanese words for monopoly money. Now, capitalism, of course, has always contained an element where instead of actually making something or providing a service for money, you could make money in the exciting field of money. But we knew money had to originate from and be generated by something real somewhere, to which cryptocurrency says, no, it doesn't. Maybe this is why Warren Buffett says cryptocurrencies basically have no value and they don't produce anything. What you hope is that somebody else comes along and pays you more money for them later on, but then that person's got the problem. In terms of value, zero. Or as another analyst put it, it's an open Ponzi scheme. It's like having an imaginary best friend who's also a banker. This is how the world economy crashed in 2009. It wasn't the lost value in actual houses that sunk us. It was this virtual market that required inventing algorithms to bet on how much houses might be worth in a virtual scenario. But then the landlord called in the bill for this virtual market because in adult land, it turns out the landlord is always real. Our problem here is at root, not economic, but psychological. People who have been raised in a virtual world are starting to believe they can really live in it. Much of warfare is a video game now. Why not base our economy the same way? And cryptocurrency is literally a game. Bitcoins are created by what they call mining, but not the kind of mining that's done by 7 dwarves who share a woman. This kind of mining involves using rooms full of supercomputers to make something that is purposefully arbitrary. Essentially, one computer thinks of a number between 1 and infinity, and other computers take trillions of guesses at what it is. It's the old game of I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10, except times a gazillion, and the guy guessing the number lives in China, and the guy who knows the number lives in the Matrix. Take that, work. Do I need to spell this out? There is something inherently not credible about creating hundreds of billions in virtual wealth with nothing ever actually being accomplished and no actual product made or service rendered. It's like Tinkerbell's light. Its power source is based solely on enough children believing in it. And unfortunately, what is real is the unfathomable amount of electricity those massive supercomputers suck up for their mining. The power, listen to this, the power being used right now to guess numbers and win imaginary prizes is the same as all the electricity needed to light all of New York State, except the governor's office where they use romantic candles. Bitcoin uses more electricity per transaction than any other method known to mankind. Just one uses more energy than 1 million Visa transactions and has the same carbon footprint as 85,000 hours of watching YouTube, what a 15-year-old calls the weekend. Bitcoin uses more energy than Netflix, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google combined. I mean, cars are bad for the climate, but at least they take you somewhere. In Tiger Woods' case, a tree. But this is just a beanie baby that runs on coal. How can a company like Tesla be all in on saving the planet with electric cars and then participate in destroying it with this completely unnecessary online play money? Almost all the people who tout Bitcoin and deal in Bitcoin and who won't shut the fuck up about Bitcoin, the millennials, the Gen Zers, the Silicon Valley types, these are all the same people who see themselves as hip and progressive and big environmentalists. Bullshit. You're money-hungry opportunists, and you're not allowed to pretend you care about the environment. According to the journal Nature, Bitcoin's growth could single-handedly push global temperatures above the tipping point of 2 degrees Celsius. I know, melting ice caps can wait. Your Green New Deal involves cash. Social scientists call this cognitive dissonance, a disconnect between who you think you are and what you actually do. I call it being full of shit.